Hello, and welcome back to another story time with me, Miss Molly. Today we will be reading Mendel's Accordion by Heidi Smith Hyde. We are celebrating Jewish Heritage Month this month, and it's very special and near and dear to my heart because I am Jewish. This story is all about klezmer music, which is like Jewish folk music. Oftentimes, when people talk about Jewish history and culture, it's very sad and dark because the Jews have faced so much oppression throughout history. But something that has always kept the Jewish people going is music, food, and family, much like, well, pretty much every other culture. I'm really excited to share with you klezmer music and this beautiful story, Mendel's Accordion. Enjoy. Mendel's Accordion by Heidi Smith Hyde. Illustrations by Johanna van der Sterre. Mendel lived in a small village called Melnitz. He didn't have much: a hut, a cow, a rooster, some hens, and an accordion. It wasn't a fancy accordion. Nothing about Mendel was fancy. It had worn black buttons up and down the sides for Mendel's busy fingers, and big folds in the middle like a lady's fan. Mendel pumped those folds with his strong arms, pushing the air in and out, turning it into music. Mendel made beautiful music with that accordion. Everywhere he went, people said, "Play for us, Mendel," and Mendel did. He went from town to town, village to village. Others joined him along the way. Soon, Mendel found himself in a band. Yankele played the fiddle, Herschel played the clarinet, Jaime played the drums, Zalman played the flute, and Schmelke played the cello. The klezmerim never stayed in one place for too long. They went from town to town, village to village. Everywhere they went, people said, "Play for us, klezmerim," and they did. They played at weddings and festivals and fairs. They played happy music. They played sad music. People laughed. People cried. The village was alive with the sounds of klezmerim. Then one day, people stopped laughing. Life was hard in the village, and there was never enough food. It was so hard that Mendel decided to leave Melnitze. He sold his hut, he sold his cow, he sold his roosters, he sold his hens. Mendel boarded a boat for America, taking only his accordion with him. On the boat, Mendel met other klezmerim. There was Motel from Moscow, Itzik from Odessa, Pincus from Pinsk. Motel played the clarinet, Itzik played the violin, and Pincus played the flute. "Soon we will all be in America," they said. "Soon we will be in the Golden Land." But the boat ride seemed to last forever, and 2 weeks seemed like 2 years as the boat rose and fell. The cold winds blew. "Come, let us do something," said Mendel as the passengers groaned and grumbled along with the boat. He couldn't bear to see everyone so unhappy. And so, Mendel from Melnitz played his accordion, Motel from Moscow played his clarinet, Itzik from Odessa played his violin, and Pincus from Pinsk played his flute. Though their stomachs churned, they played and played and played some more. They played happy music. They played sad music. People laughed. People cried. The boat was alive with the sounds of the klezmerim. It was like being back home in Melnitz. Finally, they reached America, and Mendel and his new friends boarded a ferry for New York. They were tired and cold, and their bodies ached from the long journey. "It's crowded here," remarked Pincus when they arrived in New York. "I've never seen so many people." Clutching his accordion, Mendel had to agree. There were no rolling hills or peaceful farmhouses or wandering chickens, just rows and rows of brick buildings and lots of people who spoke a different language. "Don't worry," said Mendel. "We will all find jobs and a place to live. America will be good to us. You'll see." "Mendel is right," agreed Itzik. "We will all find good jobs and a place to live." And so they did. Mendel found a job mending shoes. Matel and Pincus worked in a rope factory, and Itzik played his violin in a minstrel show. They all lived together on the Lower East Side of New York. Mendel worked long hours. The city was big. The apartment was small. But Mendel was happy. He had good friends and a good job and a place to live. Soon he had a wife, too. Her name was Reisel, and like Mendel, she was from the old country. Reisel loved listening to Mendel's accordion. Sometimes, after a long day at work, he would serenade her in the kitchen. He played happy music, he played sad music. Reisel laughed, Reisel cried. The little apartment was alive with the sounds of the klezmerim. As the years passed, Mendel's accordion continued to delight his growing family. His son, Isaac, loved singing along with the music. His son, Aaron, loved to dance wildly in the middle of the room. And baby Rose just sat on her mother's lap and listened quietly to the funny Yiddish words. During the day, there was work, but at night, there was music. Always music! Sometimes Matel, Itzik, and Pincus came over and played together just like the old days. It was like being back at home in Melnitz. Years passed, and before Mendel knew it, his children had grown up. Just like Mendel, they loved music, only a different kind of music. Mendel's son Isaac liked jazz. His granddaughter Rachel played swing, and his great-grandson Samuel loved rock and roll. Nobody listened to Mendel's accordion anymore. Melnitz was but a distant memory. Then one day, Samuel was rummaging around in the attic when he made a wonderful discovery. A dusty old accordion with worn black buttons up and down the sides and big folds in the middle like a lady's fan. It was so dusty and old that it needed to be repaired. The man at the music shop said it probably hadn't been played in more than 50 years. It was a wonder he got it to work at all. Samuel had heard stories of his great-grandfather Mendel and his remarkable klezmerim. "I am going to learn to play this accordion," he told his family. "I'm going to learn to play just like Mendel." And so, Samuel practiced and practiced and practiced some more. Soon, he found himself in a band. Leon played the fiddle, Barry played the clarinet, Stephen played the drums, Ellen played the flute, and Andrew played the cello. Together they were known as the New Klezmerim. Everywhere they went, people said, "Play for us, Klezmerim," and they did. They played at weddings and anniversaries. They played happy music. They played sad music. People laughed. People cried. But mostly, they smiled. The new world was alive with the sounds of klezmerim. Klezmer music originated in Eastern Europe in the 1500s. The term comes from the Hebrew words klei zemer, or vessels of song. A typical klezmer band of 3 to 6 musicians played instruments such as violin, flute, bass, drum, and clarinet. Most had little formal training and could not read music. as they wandered from town to town, playing at Jewish and non-Jewish weddings, town fairs, dance parties. Klezmerim developed a wide repertoire of songs inspired by ethnic, folk, and secular melodies, as well as cantoral music. There are no recordings and very little written music from that period. As a result of oppression, many klezmerim fled Eastern Europe in the 19 and 1800s. A lot of them came to America. Some of the musicians found work in Yiddish musical theater and vaudeville. As time passed, however, klezmer music was forgotten as young Jews turned to popular American music genres. The current klezmer revival began in the 1970s. This new generation of musicians has incorporated elements of rock and jazz to create a new sound. Klezmer music is still enjoyed by many today, and for some who listen to it, it feels like home, reminding us to celebrate life at its fullest, to dance, and not to weep of all the things that have happened in the past. Go listen to some klezmer music today.